Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ, coming to you live from CES 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining us for the segment, Scott Likens is back with us, Global AI and U.S. Innovation Leader at PwC, to discuss 8 essential emerging technologies. Scott, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Great to be here, good to see you.
In 2016, you identified the essential 8 at PwC. How did that play out for you?
Well, at that time, we were trying to decipher where to make some investments ourselves from a research and development perspective. We studied, I think, over 250, and we came up with the 8. We thought these were not only emerging, but they were essential to kind of think about investing in.
Many of them actually have played out very well.
They
AIT,
did.
IoT, blockchain, virtual reality, advanced robotics, quantum computing. Tell us about the 2023 Emerging Technology Survey. What are you examining there?
So over the past 6, 7, 8 years, we've been monitoring the advancements in these technologies, and not a lot of them changed. Like you said, we got it right, lucky maybe, but based on that research. This year, we did see a shift. Obviously, AI broke through. So with our survey, we were trying to understand where executives were focused. What did last year look like in this year? So that's the crux of the research, is understanding where investment was being made. And AI was the top of that, of course.
Which is so interesting because, I mean, this is from 2016, so help me do the math here, nearly 10 years ago. AI is nothing new, right?
Correct.
It seems as if we hear a lot about in the news cycles now because generative AI is more consumer facing than any other AI. So I think that's really where it ramped up there. Is it still continuing to dominate tech investments, and do you expect it to be the theme for the next foreseeable future?
I do. I really respect you brought up the fact it's been around 70 plus years, right? So there's a lot of research and development that's gone into it. This year, the bar was erased, though. Anyone can use it through the generative tools. So it became very interesting and very popular. I do think that's still going to be a top technology. In fact, in our survey, just over 50% of the executives said they're either already investing majorly in AI or will be this year. Right behind that was IoT, just under 50%. It was well ahead of the other technologies. So it's definitely the focus of the executives and the enterprises we work with.
I thought this was interesting. Just 7% of companies are consistently getting value from their emerging technology and Gen AI investments across key areas that benefit the business. Just 7% doesn't sound like a high number. Are companies having to say that they're investing in these things, but it's actually not playing out?
That's right. So these 7% we call the accelerators because the difference in what they're seeing in products and services, time to market, profitability, decision making was vastly different. So 30, 40 percentage points different than the ones that weren't using emerging tech. So there was a small number using all of the emerging techs within their business day to day, and they were seeing outsized performance. So that's a great stat to tell the 93%, hey, you need to invest in these more broadly versus experiments and POCs and maybe just in the research and lab side.
Right.
So those accelerators really showed progress and return, which is amazing.
Are there specific areas of the business where Gen AI investments are working?
So the first wave we saw is around efficiencies, and that's really across all areas of the business, which is pretty amazing. But now we're really focused on transformational opportunities. So any big processes, getting away from just pure automation and actually using Gen AI to transform the way we're thinking about parts of our business. It could start in the enterprise, so legal, corporate, IT, software engineering, and it can move into products and service development. This year, we're going to see new products and services much faster because Gen AI will help us think through that and build it, which is a great combination.
You know, it's interesting, you had picked, in 2016, blockchain is one of those emerging technologies that are here to stay. And I remember, covering it back then, that companies were kind of adding blockchain into their name or changing their names, or it just kind of became part of their communication strategy. Feels like with AI, it's a little bit more of a show me story. Like 2023, the ideas were able to get out there and you might have gotten a boost from it, but I feel like 2024, you're either going to have to show product, a revenue stream, or where Gen AI is positively impacting your business. I don't think companies are necessarily going to get away with just adding blockchain to their communication strategy, if you will.
Right, no, I agree, and I think the pace we're seeing is different. So from blockchain, which is almost over a decade old, still a sleeper technology, but same investment in blockchain and quantum in our survey, which is really interesting to me, about 30%, just under, we're investing in both at the same levels. But to your point around AI, we have to show results, and the barrier to entry is zero now. We can enable all of our workforce to use it. So I think we're starting to see the efficiencies and soon the transformations this year. It wasn't in the budget for a lot of people last year. So this was a little bit shocker, and trying to figure out how to fund it was a little bit of the difficult part. I think 2024 is different.
One of the emerging technologies you identified is neuromorphic computing.
That's
what is that?
Yes, it's a mouthful. That is the design of compute in the form of our brain, effectively. So you've heard the term neural nets in the sense of AI. Building chips and compute to actually enhance that, lower energy, better performance. So getting away from the GPU silicone world that we're a little bit constrained by. And we look at that as almost an interim step to quantum, which is a little bit further out, a little harder to get after, quantum mechanics. Neuromorphic is going to give us more efficient chips. We also bucket in there neural interfaces, so our interface with the computer will change. We're seeing either brain implants or even brain readers to interface more quickly with the technology. So it's an emerging and experimental area, no doubt, but just like 8 years ago, we know that in the future that's going to be something we need to invest in.
All right, Scott, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me from CES. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.